Okay, I am now heading down Belmont Boulevard, albeit briefly. Still in Nashville, Tennessee. This is Grandview Avenue here. And this is an area, one of the areas that I lived in when I lived in Nashville. I lived in quite a few areas. This was actually the first one. This was the first area I ever lived in when I moved to Nashville, when I first graduated from high school. It's a nice area. It's called Green Hills. And this is the area. I lived on Grandview. This is the first part of Grandview. I lived on the second part, which we're about to approach. This is Granny White Pike. Oh, the times that I've walked through here. Because when I first moved here, I didn't have a car. And at Nashville, in a city like Nashville, even before it became as thriving and growing as it has been over the last several years, it's very spread out. You definitely need a vehicle here. And I didn't have one at first, so I had to walk everywhere. Which I didn't mind. I love walking, but walking around here to get to where you need to go, it can be a real pain, even though I love walking. So yeah, a car is definitely a necessity in a city like this. Anyway, this is the neighborhood. It hasn't changed much. It's changed a little. The duplex where I used to live is right up here. With the white columns. Right there. I still have dreams about that place. So yeah, that was the first place that I lived when I moved to Nashville. I had been to other places because my mother was here long before I moved here. My family isn't from here. Yeah, they're not from Nashville. They're actually from Dayton, Ohio, but they eventually all migrated to Nashville because they love it down here. And for other reasons too. My mom was into songwriting, wanted to break into the music business, and my oldest sister did as well. And so they began visiting repeatedly and eventually moved here. I used to run a lot over here at the Lipscomb Stadium. There used to be a running track. I don't think it's there anymore. But this is a pretty nice area in Nashville. And Green Hills really is one of the nicest areas. It's not a place that I would choose to live, even though it's nice. If I lived here again, and I might in the future, I don't know, once I'm done with New York and going there and studying and training at Strasberg and HB Studio. I don't know, I might live in Nashville. It's a possibility. But I lived in downtown Nashville. That was actually that was the last place I lived when I lived here. I think it was. I'd have to think back, but I'm pretty sure it was. But anyway, I like urban life, so I would much prefer living downtown or close to downtown, closer than what Green Hills is. This is a little area here. There used to be a place called Pizza Perfect. I used to eat lunch there all the time. I used to walk there all the time and write and journal and sit and think and plan. I was very much into acting and music back then. There's Lipscomb University, one of the entrances. But anyway, I just wanted to record that. That's one of the earliest places that where I lived in Nashville.